If I took your phone away for 72 hours, what breaks first? And be honest, leads stop getting handled, customers get delayed, a team member freezes because they don't want to make the wrong call. A project stalls because it needs your approval. A deal slips because you're the only one who can decide. Most founders, they call this normal, and I'm going to call it what it is. It's a warning sign. If you watched my first video, that was the 14-day test, this is the first 72 hours because most businesses, they don't break on day 10, they break in the first 10 texts. Because if your business can't survive 72 hours without you, it will never give you a dinner, it will never give you a bedtime, a weekend, or even peace. Not consistently. And here's the brutal part. Even if you're physically home, you're still not really home because your brain is still on call. It's waiting for the next Slack message, the next text, the next fire. So today I'm going to show you the first install that fixes this. It's simple, it's not glamorous, but it's the foundation for everything. Now if you want to buy back time, this is where it starts. Most founders think they have a time problem. They don't. They have an on-call problem, an operating system problem. Right now, your business is running on your memory, your intuition, your personal standards, your constant checking, your constant rescuing. You are the system. And if you are the system, you can never be free. You can only take breaks when the system allows it. And your system is your nervous system. So the goal of this video is not to work less or to be more productive. The goal is to remove you from the center of the machine without the machine breaking. That's the difference between a founder who owns a business and a founder who is trapped inside the job that they built. So let me describe the pattern. It's Tuesday afternoon, you try to focus, then you get a question. Hey, should we refund this? Hey, how do you want me to respond to this lead? Or hey, which option should we pick? Or hey, this client's upset, can you jump in? And you tell yourself, I'll take only a second to do this, but it never takes a second because the moment you engage, you reopen 12 other tabs in your head. Now you're back inside the business. Now you're carrying the decision, the risk, the emotional weight, and the outcome. That's why most founders burn out even when the calendar looks fine. The calendar isn't telling the truth. The truth is how often the business needs you to function. So we're going to fix that. Here's the first install. Step 1, a decision inventory. Step 2, an owner map. Step 3, a weekly scoreboard. Step 4, one simple meeting to run it. This is the first system that creates autonomy. Not fake autonomy, real autonomy. And I want to be clear, delegation doesn't start with help me. Delegation starts when the business knows what good looks like without you. That's what this install creates. Step 1, the decision inventory. Not tasks, decisions. Tasks are easy to hand off. Decisions are where everything breaks because a business is basically a decision factory. And if every decision routes back to you, you are the bottleneck. So here's what you need to do. Set a timer for 15 minutes. Write down every recurring decision your business depends on. For example, sales decisions. Who responds to the inbound leads? How fast? What qualifies as a good lead? What gets priority? What do we say when somebody objects? Who can approve a price exception? Then fulfillment decisions. What does done mean? Who approves final delivery? What happens when a client is unhappy? What gets escalated and what doesn't? Then operations questions like who decides what tools we use? Who can hire contractors? Who can approve expenses? Who can cancel subscriptions? And then you get marketing decisions. What gets posted this week? What offer are we pushing? What's the message for the next hub or the next short or the next video? Most founders don't realize it, but they make 50 to 200 micro decisions a day. And that's why they feel like they never stop working. So list 15 decisions to start. If you can get to 25, great, but don't overcomplicate it. We just need enough to reveal where it is that you're trapped. And if you're unsure of what counts as a decision, here's a filter. Most founders bottleneck decisions into 3 categories: money, customers, brand, and risk. Money decisions are things like pricing, refunds, ad spend, tools, hiring. Customer decisions are things like scope changes, escalation, expectations, delivery. Brand and risk reductions are things like that you say publicly, when you promise, what you tolerate. If a decision touches money, customer outcomes, or brand risk, founders tend to hoard it. And that hoarding is exactly what steals your time. We're not going to stop caring. We're going to build a structure that protects outcomes without requiring your constant presence. Now, step 2, the owner map. This is where most founders lie to themselves. They say, my team owns that. But the second it gets messy, it comes right back to you. So we're going to define ownership in one sentence. An owner is the person who makes the decision and is responsible for the result. Not the person who helps, not the person who keeps you posted, not the person who asks you what to do. Owner means they decide, they carry it, and here's the rule that makes this work. Every decision gets one owner, not two, not some committee, not shared. Shared ownership is invisible ownership, and invisible ownership always routes back to the founder. So take your list of 15 decisions and assign one name to each. Now, if you don't have the right person yet, write TBD, to be determined, but don't leave it blank, because a blank spot is where your time bleeds. Quick clarification. Owner doesn't mean that they do everything alone, and it doesn't mean that they can't ask for input. It means when the decision must be made, they make it. And when the outcome hits, it lands on them. A team can support, a founder can advise, but ownership can't be split. Now, if you want to buy back time, you have to stop being the final question for every decision. That's the entire point. Now, this part matters a lot because you can't delegate confusion. Most decisions fail because done isn't defined. If you say, handle this lead, what does that mean? If you say, fix this client issue, what does success look like? If you say, launch this, what's the quality standard? If done only exists in your head, your team can't win. So with each own decision, you need one sentence called the definition of done. For example, inbound leads. Every inbound lead gets a first response within 5 minutes during business hours. Or refund requests. Refunds under X amount can be approved if condition A and B are true. Client escalations. Escalate only if the customer uses these trigger phrases or threatens cancellation. This is how you create confidence. And confidence is what creates autonomy. And that's where you get your freedom from. Now here's the simple ladder that you can use. Level 1 delegation is do exactly what I say. That still requires you. Level 2 delegation is use my rules. Now this is where you start getting some time back. Level 3 delegation, own the outcome. This is where freedom starts. Most founders bounce between this level 1 and rescue mode, and they never build level 2, which is the rules, the scoreboards, the definitions of done. This install moves you up the ladder fast. Now step 3, the weekly scoreboard. This is the part that makes everything real because you can assign ownership all day long, but if you don't measure outcomes, you're still the safety net. A scoreboard is 8 to 12 numbers that tell you in 5 minutes if the business is healthy. Not 40 metrics, not dashboards that you never open, and not vanity numbers that make you feel productive. Just the numbers that predict whether you're winning or losing, because if you can't see the business clearly, you'll keep jumping in just to make sure. And that habit is what steals your life. Now here's a structure that works in almost any business. Pipeline, delivery, cash, quality. Pipeline tells you the future. Delivery tells you if you're keeping promises. Cash tells you reality. And quality tells you if churn, refunds, or reputation damage is coming. Now, let me give you some examples that you can steal. Pipeline, leads this week, booked call, show rate, close rate. Delivery, projects completed, fulfillment on time percentage. Cash, cash collected, receivables, recurring revenue retention. Quality, cancellations, refunds, NPS, support tickets. Now, you don't need all of these. Pick 8 to 12 that actually drive your business. Scoreboards fail when they turn into trivia. So follow these 3 rules. Rule 1, every number has an owner. Someone carries it. Rule 2, every number has a target. Good must be defined. And rule 3, red means action, not excuses. You're not trying to create some pretty report here. You're creating a system that forces the business to self-correct without you. That's what buys back time. Now, this only works if you run it. So here's the cadence. Once a week, 15 minutes, same time, same agenda, pull up the scoreboard, and you only do 4 things. Quick wins, what's green? Watch list, what's yellow? Fix list, what's red? One commitment per item, and that's it. No therapy sessions, no rambling founder lecture, no team debate for 45 minutes, because the purpose of this meeting isn't a conversation, it's autonomy. You're training the business to see problems early and solve them without you. Now, here's the script when something's read. The owner says, "What happened? What did we learn? What are we going to do next? What support is needed, if any?" And you, as the founder, only do one thing, and you ask one question. What would you do if I was unavailable? Because that question forces ownership. It forces thinking, it forces independence, and over time, your team stops defaulting to you. Now, let me save you from some common mistakes. Mistake 1, too many metrics. If it takes more than 5 minutes to understand, you're going to stop using it. Mistake 2, no targets. If there's no definition of winning, the scoreboard becomes meaningless. Mistake 3, the founder keeps rescuing it. If you jump in and fix it every single time something's read, the team never learns to correct. Mistake 4, shared ownership. If 2 people own it, nobody owns it. If you avoid those, this works fast. Now, I want to call out the trap. Most founders secretly want to be needed. Not because they're bad people, but because it feels safe. If you're needed, you feel in control. But the control of being needed, you never get to leave. Not mentally and eventually not physically. So if you want the business to run without you, you have to stop being the emergency solution and replace yourself with structure, not hope. Ownership plus scoreboard is structure. Now here's what changes when you install this. Your team starts making decisions faster because they have rules. Problems get surfaced earlier because the scoreboard shows reality, and you stop getting pinged constantly because there's an owner. And you start trusting the business again because you can finally see it. Founders don't burn out because they work hard. They burn out because they carry everything. This install transfers the weight, and that's the point. Now here's your 7-day implementation plan. Day 1, write down your decision inventory. Day 2, assign 1 owner per decision. Day 3, write definition of done for top 10. Day 4, choose 8 to 12 scoreboard numbers. Day 5, set targets and assign an owner for each. Day 6, set the weekly meeting. And day 7, run the first meeting even if it's a little bit messy. Don't wait till it's perfect. Run it even if it's ugly. Just the act of running it and getting going means you are making progress. Now, if you want a clean version of this, I put it into a simple 3-step guide. Go to buybacktimeformula.com/3 steps and grab it. The link will be in the description. And if you want help installing this in your real business with your real constraints, with your real team, that's what I do with founders privately. But either way, start with the install because you can make more money, but you can't remake a childhood. In the next video, I'll show you how to lock your family windows first so your calendar stops lying to the people that you love. This video was the business install. The next one is the life install. So I'll see you in the next one.